Good morning. It's Sunday, November 17th. I'm Lisa Evers in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox Local app. President-elect Donald Trump has made his pick for Energy Secretary. Energy Secretary nominee Chris Wright is a CEO of a Denver-based energy company and an outspoken critic of the climate change movement. His selection is winning widespread support among conservatives, but criticism from one environmental group who called it a disastrous mistake. Voluntary evacuations were put in place for more than 100 homes in Orange County last night when the Jennings Creek fire breached containment. Officials say it was done to make room for firefighters and emergency equipment. The region remains at an elevated risk of wildfires spreading. Checking the forecast today, sunny and a high of 63. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low of 47. Tomorrow, breezy with a high of 62. Windy and dry conditions are creating fire dangers and not just wildfires. Jessica Formoso has more on a devastating fire in Newark that quickly spread to other homes.
An inferno on Seymour Avenue in Newark, flames engulfing 3 homes just before midnight on Friday.
I seen that it was flames coming from the next house. I was so scared and such in like a panic mode.
Residents didn't have time to grab any of their belongings, and if they did, it was burned, just like this woman's suitcase. Cora grabbed her son and ran out.
I was so scared. I came down the stairs, and literally right by my window is next to the abandoned house, so I'm seeing the flames hit the windows as I'm coming down the stairs. Luckily, I was able to make it out in time.
Fire officials say the fire started in the middle home, which is a vacant multifamily, then quickly spread to the other homes next door. Neighbors say squatters have been seen going in and out of the vacant house.
They were literally entered through like a side window that's like close to our dining room, so we could literally see them ordering all the time as they do it. There was sometimes they would have to like go through like our little porch area to get into it.
The property manager tells Fox 5 the house was gated and the entrance was boarded up. All the utilities were shut off.
We honestly don't know if that happened and how that happened, and this is a huge loss. I don't know what happens next. We were actually about to start the project, so no wire going in, nothing, no electricity, no gas.
More than 100 firefighters battled the 3-alarm fire. 4 of them were injured when part of the home collapsed. All 4 were taken to the hospital in stable condition.
We had a mayday and a partial collapse at 13 Seymour. Our RIT teams, who have been trained for this specific type of moment, acted quickly to remove, package, and transport our firefighters that were injured to University Hospital. Right now, we have 4 firefighters that were transported. 2 have been released. The other 2 are stable.
The Red Cross now helping a total of 14 families, including 19 adults and 11 children, who became homeless overnight just weeks before the holidays.
I'm very upset. I'm very mad. I don't know what to do right now. We don't know exactly what to do right now. We're not happy. We're not happy, and the New Year's coming, Christmas coming, Thanksgiving coming. We don't know what to do.
All 3 homes have been deemed uninhabitable, which means they will have to be knocked down. As for the cause of the fire, that is still under investigation. In Newark, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
Actress Whoopi Goldberg suggested on The View this week that a Staten Island bakery refused to sell her cupcakes due to her liberal views. However, Staten Island officials came out and supported bakery owner Jill Holderman, who has refuted Goldberg's comments. Officials say an old boiler had malfunctioned and had to be replaced, so the bakery did not want to commit to a large order it could not fulfill.
These people are up at 3 or 4 o'clock every morning. The sacrifices they've made, the holidays they've missed with their families. To make Staten Island better, they have sacrificed for 145 years. Rutherford B. Hayes was the President of the United States, for God's sakes. And they're still here, and they're still strong, and they're not going anywhere, despite what other people on television have to say.
Staten Island Borough President Vito Fossella is asking for Goldberg to apologize. Goldberg has not responded. Advance Auto Parts is about to close more than 500 stores, cutting jobs at the all-impacted locations. As Fox 5's Kendall Green explains, this could be a sign of trouble ahead for the auto parts industry.
Advance Auto Parts joins the growing list of retailers rolling back, announcing closures of more than 700 stores, including 523 corporate shops. 204 independent locations, and 4 distribution centers.
No, it don't surprise me.
Folks like Terrence, who hasn't been in one for more than 2 years, gets why.
I have an Audi, so I just go to Audi for everything I need.
The dealership?
Yeah, the dealership.
After revealing their last quarter's performance, the major chain's shares dropped 5%. Now the company's CEO shares the cuts are a part of creating value among shareholders. Now, Advance Auto Parts' move to close hundreds of their stores are signs of the times, and mechanics here at United Auto Repairs have seen those times changing and tell us that's no surprise.
I could see them having hard times, especially with the COVID and everything else, and people not using their cars as much, and they're not breaking down as much. And like I said, a lot of people bought new cars.
The father-son mechanic duo shares those new cars comes with lengthy warranties, cutting into business for both auto parts stores and mechanics, as customers at times bypass them both. Not to mention smart cars, also reducing the need for traditional auto parts.
If you don't have the volume of the cars breaking down as much, you really don't need that many places to sell you the parts. And there are probably a lot of places out there to sell them.
So with stores like Pep Boys right next door, should they be on notice? Business expert and attorney Parag Amin says now is the time to shift their focus.
If I'm one of these CEOs for one of these auto parts stores, I'm nervous. I realize that the internet is a very difficult thing to compete with in terms of price, in terms of convenience. So ultimately, what I'm looking at is how do I make my people better?
Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Congestion pricing is back on and set for January 5th, but a number of lawsuits against the plan are still ongoing. Teresa Priolo has more on the lawsuits, where they stand, and if they can actually derail the tolling plan.
I always have, and I always will, fight to put more money in the pockets of everyday New Yorkers.
Governor Kathy Hochul may need that fighting spirit as she battles not 1 but 9 lawsuits over her controversial congestion pricing plan.
If Governor Hochul and other New York officials think this is, and the MTAs, General Lieber think that this is a freight train that they can roll over the region, okay, well, I'm here to say, no, this ends here.
Former New York City Deputy Mayor Randy Mastro is representing the state of New Jersey in their efforts to stop congestion pricing. The basis of their federal suit is an incomplete environmental review.
It's ludicrous to suggest that congestion pricing, this unprecedented scheme, first of its kind in the nation, doesn't require a full environmental review.
Specifically, they say the review does not account for nor pay for the increased congestion and pollution on the Garden State. Staten Island is fighting on the same premise.
What's sad is that their own environmental assessment that they did do is showing that the congestion, the pollution isn't being reduced. It's just being moved from Midtown Manhattan to other parts of that borough and the outer boroughs like the ones I serve.
New York claims an environmental review was done. Opponents believe they failed to do their due diligence. For now, the Hochul team is forging ahead with a January 5th start date.
I'm going to rely on the attorneys who are telling me that we are on solid legal ground.
While some experts agree, in this case, the governor can do what she wants.
I just think legally that the governor and the MTA, they have the authority to put in place wildly unpopular policies for terrible reasons.
On the Upper East Side, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
Well, Netflix scored a knockout during Friday night's fight between Iron Mike Tyson and YouTube celebrity Jake Paul. The streaming service says as many as 65 million households watched the event, and it was streamed in more than 6,000 bars and restaurants. In the U.S., promoters say gate receipts surpassed $18 million, making it the biggest boxing gate in history outside of Nevada. And even though Iron Mike seems slow, the 58-year-old says he may fight again. If you want to see the fight, Paul versus Tyson, it's now available to watch globally on Netflix. Checking the forecast one more time. Today, sunny and a high of 63. Tonight, clouds with a low of 47. Tomorrow, breezy with a high of 62. And that does it for us this morning. I'm Lisa Evers. Have a really great day. Remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming right here on the Fox Local app.